In this episode, I do our first ever laundry run. We find a town that actually encourages campervan and motorhomes. We discover what this is all about. We're treated to a great sunset. We have a challenging walk. And we finally discover the history behind the pier.
You are ready for a different kind of life. You're silent for the wind is cold. You must return to the wild.
Good morning, it's day 20 something. I've lost all track of time, I'll be honest with you, where we're at. It's our second day in stays yesterday. We just got up this morning, bright blue sunshine. It's just gone a bit cloudy now, a bit of the wind's picked up a bit, but we're heading off now a bit further north. It's laundry day today, so we're gonna go and do a bit of laundry for the first time, so we'll see how that goes. But it's been a great stop. I'd definitely recommend coming to Stays.
We met Paul, who was parked up as well in his really impressive eye-catching campervan. He was telling us that he's just recently moved to full-time van life. He's a surfer who chases the waves, and he shared some great tips on island and also local destinations. Seating if you wanted originally?
Yeah, you do, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just put seats in there, but...
You're into your surfing, is that what you travel around and follow
I've just been
surfing?
in Ireland for a month.
Oh,
wow,
brilliant.
because we're going over Ireland in September. Actually, we're going to do 8 weeks and do the Atlantic way.
Yeah, it's
and
incredible.
And we were blown away by the quality of his van. So if you're watching, Paul, it was great to meet you. So Stu does a quick litter pick. But to be honest, the local community group that we've seen around have done such a fantastic job that there's not much to collect. We just hope that all the vans take their rubbish home, and there's not much left for them to collect either.
Because council had to build this one because of the erosion. The cliffs were coming back towards the old road, so
okay.
they built a new road here. That's the old road. And when they did that, this was the farmer's field. So all this here is now they're trying to preserve this, get rid of some of the grass and put more wildflowers in there for the habitat, because it's got some species in there. So they're the locals, and they're just taking out some of these. They put this barrow up here because people were going just parking across here, which because it's got nice views, but it was destroying all the habitats, which is why they've put this.
So they've already done quite a bit of work by putting.
Yeah, and the weeds that are coming through are a bit invasive, so that's why they're thinning out the weeds to allow gradually the other. And there's all sorts of wild. In fact, there's a couple of species in there on the red list apparently. Good luck with the weeding. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, bye.
There's a group of people. She lives in the cottages down there, and she saw me litter picking up a bit. Not there was much there because they do it on a daily basis.
So today is the first time that we've done laundry in a laundrette on this trip, so we head to Gisborough. Okay, no, just shove it all in the bags, yeah. I don't need that orange bag, do I? Don't need that orange bag, it's got the cloth in it. You're just trying to get me out, aren't you? Did you put the washing stuff in?
I'll give it to you.
Oh.
Where is it?
You might be sat on it, I don't know.
No, I just gave it to you.
Oh, maybe it's already in the bag.
I just gave it to you.
Right, okay, and I will say back to you, maybe it's in the bag at the bottom.
Huh? Literally just give it to you.
Yep, you did, it's here.
And I'll just say to you,
Yeah.
I just give it to you. You look like bloody Santa Claus.
And there it is, it's called Odd Socks. And it's a cafe laundrette. Fresh laundry, fresh coffee, fresh food. So I think I probably got the better deal out of the two of us. I've been really looking forward to going to this laundrette. And they sell cake.
Meanwhile, I get some quiet me time to catch up on some video editing, but unfortunately, no cake.
And it's the first time that I've ever enjoyed being sat in a laundrette. There's so much to look at. They've got toys for kids, they've got tea, coffee, drinks, cakes, the lot. I'm just heading back to the van, and if every laundrette had a cake and a cup of tea like that, I'd be ecstatic. The cake was beautiful. So I'm just waiting for it to dry, so it hasn't taken too long, about an hour and a half by the time it's dried. And then we're all good to go again. And now it's time for us to take the short drive back to the coast.
So we're coming down into Saltburn.
I'm in trouble because Stu's just locked the van up because he said, "Am I alright?" and I said yes. And then we've just noticed he's not alright. So I'm in the doghouse now. Our target park up today is elevated over the beach. There's several campers and motorhomes here already, and surprisingly there's no charge. And I just hope that the council, unlike Helmsley, continue to support the location for the money that the van community must bring into the area. Saltburn by the Sea was once an important Victorian bathing resort, originally a hamlet located where the shipping stands today. The town was founded in 1861 by Quaker entrepreneur Henry Pease. It's home to the North East's only pleasure pier, and the oldest working water-balanced inclined tramway in Britain. As you can imagine, it's got a really rich history, and it was one of the first seaside resorts to boom as a result of the early passenger carrying railway routes. And it's time for a walk along the front. And these cyclists must have stopped off for a bit of sightseeing. These colourful beach huts were built and available for hire from July 2017. Stu, just stand there a minute. Stand there. Oh look, where's Stu? Each hut was given a traditional name due to the heritage of Saltburn by the Sea during the Victoria era. And my favourite is the blue one, Brian. The Saltburn Cliff Tramway opened in 1884 to replace the vertical hoist that was there before, and it's now the oldest water-balanced funicular still in operation in Great Britain today. It's not that warm today, and that's reflected by the amount of people on the beach. And the beach has won quite a few recent awards. When it opens, that's going to be a really prime spot to sit and watch the world go by.
So we've just stopped off at the shipping. Yeah, the shipping at the far end of Saltburn, and I went in to get a drink, and I said to Jane, I said, go and get somewhere that's sheltered, etc. So she did. The only problem is, this is my view.
You can peer through the holes and stand up.
The sea's behind there. Look, If I put my eye to the slat, I can just about see the sea. Fantastic view, Joe. Well done.
We sit and have a chill. And then the rain comes, so we go inside, which looked a great homely pub. The Ship Inn dates back to at least the 15th century, making it possibly one of the oldest inns in the country. But it's time to head back to Harry in the drizzling rain and past the flower gardens. And we're treated to a spectacular sunset.
Well, that's a great way to go up the beach. I bet the horses are loving that. Joggers, walkers. Good morning all. We're in Saltburn, which is north of Stays, north of Whitby, east of Middlesbrough, south of Redcar. That positions us.
Just there.
Yeah.
We've set ourselves an ambitious 9.8 kilometre walk, and in the higher temperatures this may really push us to our limit. And as we get to the beach we see that the surf school is active with its first session of the day. And I think he's got it, or maybe not. And we come across the Happy Bench. It was thought up by a Yorkshire woman, and she's trying to encourage people to sit down and chat with strangers. And the Happy Benches even have their own Twitter account.
So we're going to go up that way to the top, and then we're going to go across the headland that way, and around over the other side. There's a beach over the far side we're going to get to.
These old terraced houses still have the outside toilet structure in place, although I very much doubt that that's what they use them for today.
We're parked over there, so Harry's on the front.
And we come across this sombre point, where there's been numerous placards and messages put there as a last effort to help people suffering. They've been placed here by Paul Waugh, and as a former Coast Guard, unfortunately he's retrieved a lot of bodies in his time. He walks this path regularly, and he wanted to not only warn people about the cliff edge, but to also try and help those that are struggling. And he's doing an amazing job, because he's already had messages from people that had actually gone up there to commit suicide and change their minds. And it's a steady walk climbing up over the headland. We actually tried to up our game and keep up with this lot, but it was a losing battle.
So we're now on top of the cliff, Hung Cliff, and there used to be a Roman signal station, but there's no remains at all. I reckon it was built between 367 and 385 AD. Looks like they excavated it around 1911 to 1912. We've just come across the a railway line up the top here.
This is what's known as a fan house, and it was used to supply air to the ironstone mine workers below between 1872 and 1906.
Well, the path goes really close here on the basis there's lots of erosion going on. Let's get through this fairly fast. So that's Catesty Sands, I believe. Looks like walkers have gradually built up a memorial, whatever, lump, pile of stones. Some of them have got messages on. Apparently Ed likes cheese.
This sculpture on the cliffs is called the Bracelet, and it was commissioned in 1990 from a nearby steelworks.
So it looks like it's made from a bit of railway track, I think. Do they chime? I don't know. Not really. And we do a set ourselves up for a selfie.
And then out of nowhere we hear some rally cars, and it turns out it's from a nearby rally car track day experience location.
Unfortunately we took a wrong turn somewhere and ended up coming through the golf course. And that's over there is British Steelworks. Still producing apparently. So we're in the village of Broughton, walking back to Saltburn. A nice feel to it. I guess these were all the cottages possibly for workers who, around this area it was all iron ore works. All the wild garlic and bluebells, beautiful. Just heading down through the woodland area, down alongside a little stream or river, down to Saltburn, at the sea. So this will come out at the sea basically. So we've done around about 9 kilometres today. It's taken us about 2.5–3 hours. A pretty little walk through here.
We then reach a really steep and slippery part of the footpath, but we refuse to be beaten.
Yeah, the one in front of you. And now the one in front of you. And on the high beam, Stuart Thorley representing Shropshire. Look up, not down.
Okay.
Look up.
No, looking up, taking off.
That's what they say not to look down.
This bridge was made out of 3 girders that we assume were made by the local steelworks. Finally, we reach the beach. The sun is now out and the town is a lot busier. Especially after a sweet coat.
We deserve it after all.
We do. And it's a well-deserved drink and a home-baked panini from this fantastic, highly recommended bar called Number 23. A quick walk around the town and we find ourselves going on yet another walk as if we haven't just walked enough already today.
So we're just walking through the gardens in Saltburn, definitely worth a walk. It's just beautiful and peaceful actually.
The girl.
How old?
How old?
4.5 months.
Oh.
She's going to be quite small.
Yeah. I think she's about half grown now.
Got too much energy.
The model steam railway opened in 1947. It's entirely manned by volunteers, which these railways usually are. It takes you on a short journey from the seafront through to the Valley Gardens, the Italian Gardens, the Tea Lawn and the Woodland Centre. And there's
There you
that
go
dog again, and it's great to see his enthusiasm for the water.
How old is she?
6 in July.
Ah, okay. Loves it. Loves it.
All our walks seem to have ended back at the beach, and this time the pier, in the sunlight and the water, looked magnificent. Saltburn Pier was opened in 1869, and in 1875 it was destroyed by a storm. It reopened 2 years later, and the council have owned it since 1938. And it's got a long history of storm damage. But it weathered the storms, as they say, and in 2014 it was even in a Bollywood film. And we head back to Harry, and we sit and simply watch the world go by. So we're going to leave this episode here, as we've really packed in a lot in the last 2 days, and we highly recommend Saltburn as a destination. And if you like what we do, please consider subscribing and giving us a like, and also dropping us a comment, as we really love to hear from you.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.
And hopefully we'll see you in the next video, where Stu and I have one of the most bizarre 24 hours that we've ever had.
Too long, it hurts to watch fade to grey as you fade away.